All right. 3 days ago, okay, 3 days ago, I made this video that is the part one of this series. After 35 years of living in Dubai, what I wish someone had told me. That was part one, where I covered 10 of the 30 points. Okay. I went through it slightly detailed. So that is why it clocked in at 51 minutes, nearly an hour. So that is why I decided, okay, I'll make part two in another video. And because there are 30 points, I'll make part three. Now, these points are not just like, if you listen to other YouTubers, they just say, okay, in order to succeed, teamwork, that's it. Have the best people in your team. Next point, invest wisely. Find out the key companies which give you the best returns. And then point number three. So I didn't just want to give you the points. I wanted to state a few examples as well. Okay. So that is why this video will be slightly slow. Listen to it at maybe 1.5x or 2x speed. And if there's any point that you need to take down notes, you can maybe pause and write it down. And yes, if you didn't watch part one, link is in the description. Check that out. And I'm pretty sure by the time I bring video number 3, I'll also be putting. So check the description or check the pinned comment. And yeah, any questions, suggestions, ideas, or even if you disagree with the point, comment down below. So let's start. This is point number 11. The most important mantra in UAE is called Waasta. Waasta or influence. Okay. It's not what you know. They generally say, no, it's not what you know, it's who you know. It's your contacts and connections. And this could not be any more true in Dubai, UAE. I'll give you a simple example. You see my face, right? It's tattooed. Okay. This is a fact. This is not, I'm not giving you theory. If you tattoo, let's say, for example, if they see any visible tattoos, you can be prevented from entering UAE. Like, okay, you have a tattoo here and all that, that's fine. But if it can be interpreted in a Islamic way, however they interpret it, it can be used against you. I remember one guy had on his arm a mermaid showing her boobies. I don't know how did nobody tell him this. He was sleeveless in Carrefour. And I told him, that time I was fully tattooed. And I told him, hi, can I just speak to you for a second? And he like, oh, wow, like your ink. And then I told him about it. He was very surprised that he was like, oh, really? Oh, sheesh. Then he took a masking tape and he just put it there for time being. He said, I'll make sure I cover this. I didn't know this. So I was like, what? So one thing is, do not tattoo anywhere on these fingers, okay, on these palms. And if you tattoo here also, sometimes they can object because in some places they ask you a finger scan. So don't tattoo here. Do not, under any circumstance, tattoo anywhere above where, the neck, especially the face. Now you will ask, okay, then how come you have all this? This is only because it's not, I got the tattoos because I had Waasta, but rather I was able to stay in Dubai because I had Waasta. Does it make sense? Like, I knew the contacts, I knew the connections, and good, I got this point. I will tell you about it. Just give me a second. This is the beauty of these videos, one second. Whenever I do speak, I get an extra point. So, like for example, I needed my visa to be stamped. I knew the right person who could help me get that. I needed someone to go to a government agency. Normally, you have to be there present yourself. I was able to find out someone else was able to do that for me, even though you are supposed to be there. Then I remember, let's say, you're supposed to go to a particular venue and they had a particular, I don't know, it was not explicitly said, but tattoos were objectionable. Just because I knew the right person, I was able to end. It was a kind of a VIP event. Okay. So the point I'm trying to make you understand here is in, especially the Islamic world, especially Dubai. Dubai is not Islamic, but just saying, if you do not know the right person, you can get into trouble. And if the right person wants to get you into trouble, it is game over for you. It is not like, don't expect it to be all fair just like the West. Like, for instance, I was taken into police custody because one cop didn't like the way I looked. He just looked at me from far and, Thailand, what is this? Once when I traveled through the airport to go to Thailand from Dubai, I was stopped at the immigration security, and this guy had no business, not immigration, sorry. I passed the immigration. They were checking the baggage. This guy from somewhere, he was checking the monitor for stuff in the suitcase. He didn't have any business to ask me, like, why are you traveling? Because he was not immigration. He made me stand, and then he started making a big noise. Then one manager came, and finally, local guy, Emirati, he told this guy who was wearing airport coveralls, he told him, just go mind your own business. And that Emirati apologized to me. He was causing a scene. Then once immigration, I'm returning from Thailand. Yeah, it was Thailand. And the immigration guy, he sees my passport. He sees that I have a valid visa. He sees that I've stayed so many years in UAE. Still, he made me stand aside, and then I asked him, what is the problem? He said, you're not allowed in UAE. But I said, I have a visa. No, 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 no. You will not stay in UAE. Nothing. You are not allowed. And then he went to the manager, and I think he was there for almost 35 minutes, pleading his case to get me thrown out. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. If you know the right contacts and connections, it can save you a lot of trouble. I'll give one final example. Once near, I've made a video on this. Once near Dera City Center, if I remember correctly, it was in the afternoon. There was a Jaguar, fully decked up in front of me. I was driving, I think, Nissan Tida, yeah. And behind me was another car. Okay, the signal went green. For some reason, I was not paying attention to the car in front of me. I looked at the signal and, I don't know, for a split second, just looked somewhere else, went forward. The Jaguar had apparently hit the brakes. I went and bumped into him. Okay. And before you know it, the guy behind me bumped into me. Now, when I got out of the car, obviously all of us got out of the car. The Jaguar was an Indian businessman or something, very courteous, very nice. He said, are you okay? Are you fine? And I said, I apologize. I'm so sorry. He said, no, it's perfectly fine. You're okay, right? Car can, take care of itself. The funny thing is, Jaguar didn't even have a dent, while my Tida was like crushed. The bonnet was, I don't know what the hell was this Jaguar made up of. And behind also, it got damaged because the car behind me hit my vehicle. Okay. So, it was a cheap vehicle. So then we were all standing and waiting for the cop. So obviously the guy in the front, not his fault. He'll get, I think, the white slip. I'll get the pink slip, which you have to take for insurance. Pink means you have made the fault. The guy behind me will also get a pink slip. Okay. Now he gave the cop guy came, full with beard, slightly plump. He came. We are waiting. So he came and then he gave this guy the white slip. I was waiting for me. I was supposed to be next, but then he gave this guy the pink slip. Okay. When it came to me and I was waiting, then he said, okay, you come with me. I was like, yeah, but come with you? I mean, you gave them a slip. You didn't give me. No, come with me. I was like, okay. I followed him. And lo and behold, before you know it, he took me to the police station. And I was still wondering, like, what is going on? He told me to park the car, asked me to come into the police station. And there I was made to sit outside, waiting. He went and, there is that, above him, his boss, inspector or something. I think a 2-star or 3-star, I can't remember. Big office. So he went in. And finally, that guy looked at me from office and come, tal, And when I came in, they made a big hue and cry about my tattoos. And he apparently told me that I am satanic, shaitan, evil. All these are devil marks, and I'm not supposed to be here. And it was a Thursday. Those days, Thursday was half day, Friday was a holiday, Saturday was a working day. Thankfully, he didn't put me in jail, because if he did put me in jail, then I wouldn't have been able to, go out. I would be in jail for 3 days. So he let me go, but he let me go at nearly when he finished his duty at around night. Now, here's the funny thing. After after I left, before I left, he told me, "You will come on Saturday, okay, and pack your bags. Your visa is going to be cancelled. We are going to deport you." And he bought a photographer from the main head office, who was another Muslim guy, and he looked like an Indian or Pakistani. I asked him what happened. He said, "Baba, ye kya hai? Like, what is all this?" And he said, "Tum khalas. They will throw you out." So I was like, finished. My life is over. And that is where I finally called my contact, who I knew from ages. He was an Emirati guy. He was very high ranking local, very, very high ranking. He knew a lot of people because he was himself um, you know, he was himself the director level in the police, in the law. Thankfully, because he made that call, when I came on Saturday, I was supposed to meet the head of that police station. My contact had already spoken to him. He turned out to be a mutawa. Mutawa is a man who dedicates himself to Allah, does everything as per Islamic. So I thought I was finished because here is a man who is hardcore, even more hardcore, supposed to be. But when I met him, he was very polite, very nice. But he did ask me, "Why you destroyed your face? God gave you." And he said, he spoke to my contact and he told me, "You're a good man." He said, and then, they had taken my passport. So he handed back my passport. And not only that, he walked me down and let me go. So the point I'm trying to make here is had I not known the right person, believe it or not, I would have been finished. Okay. I just got one more point, which I have to tell you. 1 minute. Uh, okay. So sorry. I keep getting these points, which I feel are valuable. So I just want to share them with you. Okay. So the next point being, like I give you this example, right? The magic of Waasta. You should never ever get into a fight or an argument with an Emirati, especially a pure Emirati local. Because if you do, no matter, even if you're at fault, no matter, even if you have the evidence, you're finished. Throughout the years, I put examples of this, but this, see, don't take me out of context. This is not to say Emiratis are bad. Out of my nearly 40 years of being in UAE, how many examples I can give you? I can just give you like 4, 5. So you can imagine, out of 40 years, 5 people. Okay. So that's the ratio. So it's not Emiratis are bad. It's just that if you bump into one and that guy wants to ruin your life, you are finished. Give you examples. Ras Al Khaimah is definitely one of the Emirates. It's far off from Dubai. But here it's more like it's dominated by Emirati locals. It's very laid back. It's not developed like Dubai. So I had my friend over there who was a very highly respected doctor working for a government hospital for the Sheikh. Very nice guy, soft spoken. He had a 4-wheel drive. So this particular day, and he's not the type who'll make up stories. So I know him from literally 10, I think 10, 15 years. He was very close. So he was, same accident took place near the signal, but this time he was near the signal and the guy from behind hit him. So obviously, you have to step out of the car. And when he stepped out of the car, an Emirati guy, Arab guy, full kandura, came out. And then he looked and he said, he greeted him politely and said, "We have to call the police." And, no sooner the police came and, he spoke in Hindi because they speak in Hindi. They don't speak in English. And some of the police officers, they used to use it as a tactic before, even if they knew Hindi, which was a common language. Very few knew English those days. They will still speak to you in Arabic to intimidate you. Okay. And you'll be like, "Oh, sheesh, I don't know Arabic." So he greeted him in Hindi. And then this guy, when they met, obviously Marathi, and he's also Arab Emirati. So they went, they gave their nose kiss greeting and Allah Khalli and, all Islamic greetings. And then, to his shock, he's supposed to get the white slip. That Emirati is supposed to get pink slip. The cop came and told him, "You're at fault." And he was like, stunned. He was like, "What? Yeah, I'm at fault. I was waiting for the signal, turned red, and then this guy hit me from back. You know?" He said, "No, you reversed." I said, "Why would I reverse near a signal?" And then even that guy made the same story. He said, "You're at fault." So they both gone up together, joined together, and then he said, "You're arguing. If you're arguing, then you come to the police station. This is what happens. If you don't agree, you're asked to come to the police station." And finally, he was dragged to the police station, and then when he explained it even to the inspector or person higher, same narrative, same story. And then he said, "You don't agree?" He said, "No, okay, then you'll have to wait in jail until we sort this out." Means he has to stay in jail, not the Emirati. And until they sort it out, they can't go. And then they'll make it a court case. And he was in no mood for all this. So finally, he agreed that it was his fault. He signed the paper. And obviously, he had to compensate him. So the point here is the Emirati can destroy life. I'll give one final example to prove this point. The only time I did get arrested and put behind bars, not actually like sitting there for days, for a few hours, was when those days I was a hothead. I think at the age of 31, driving a Lexus 4-wheel drive, and I'll make the story short because there are too many things. He was just parked his car, like there's a 2-lane road. He was parked here. This is the fast lane. This is a slow lane. So he was parked here in the middle of the road. I'm behind him, and he's talking to one of his friends or something. Yeah, he was talking to one of his friends. Oh yeah. He was outside. Sorry, he was outside the vehicle, talking to his, like as if it's his bloody road, And he's talking to his friend who doesn't have a car. He has a car. And I'm like, what the hell is this? So obviously, I started to honk, and when I started to honk, he said, first he's like, wait, then. And I shouldn't have lost my temper, and I did. And I horned again, and I put the light, and there he got irritated. What? And because he said what and all that, I shouldn't have done that. Don't do this. I showed him the middle finger, which I shouldn't have. I overtook him and zoomed off. Little did I know that this guy, in his temper, he also had one. He followed me. And as I was driving, I didn't think he would follow me. When I came near a roundabout, he came in front of me and stopped his car, got out of the car, came to my car. And I said, what do you want? So he said, you show me this. You know who I am. You know who I am. And he went to the car. I'm local. I'm local. This is a weapon that they use. He shouted, I'm local. I'm local. Means I'm Emirati. I'm the citizen. And he banged his car to show the number plate, which was like similar digits, not a Dubai number plate. You're talking in those days when number plates were craze, but they were not worth millions or anything. You needed, if you wanted one, a good number, like it should be like 555, 666 or something like that, 786, Muslim number, or 786, 7867. So you have to get it through influence. So he had a fairly, same number plate, same number. So maybe he had influence. So he said, you finished. I said, you do what you want. And again, I zoomed off. Oh goodness, he took my number plate, he gave it to Sharjah. This was Sharjah, the emirate next to Dubai. I got a call from the police station on when I was sitting in the office. They called for me because obviously I was driving it. It was under my name, not my name. I was a driver, and then they called me there. And that time I didn't have all these tattoos. Okay, I was just a suited guy, chubby face, bald, with a Frenchie, with a tie. I was wearing a suit, called to this small, dilapidated, tiny little police station. Remember, 31. I'm 48 now. So you can imagine how many years? Nearly 10? What? No, 16 years? Yeah, 16, 17. And he said, you show this to the local? And I was like, blood drained because that was actually the first time I was in front of an inspector. And he said, you finish. You khalas. I was like, what? And then, to my shock and surprise, he told me, go inside. And he put me in the jail, like, in this holding cell. And in this holding cell, oh, bloody hell, man. There were Bangladeshis. They were all laborers sleeping on the floor. There's a toilet that was a just urinate, but you have to do it publicly. Oof. And one guy was reading the Quran. He was a guy from the mosque, and I was like, I was so scared because that was my first time. However, and yeah, that Emirati guy was sitting there. After 2, 3 hours, however, called me. They must have finished talking, and he said, "You're finished," and I started to beg and plead, and I told him, "Please let me go." Finally, they agreed. After I kept begging and pleading, because I didn't want any trouble. It was my first time. When I begged, even that local guy, he was having the Nokia communicator, I think, those days. I said, sorry, sorry. He also felt very uncomfortable because he's dressed up like a Emirati. So he asked him, what do you want to do? The guy was, the inspector, I think, was the in charge of that place, was Sudanese. When he asked him, that local guy said, I don't know, Marif, I don't know, you do what you want with him. So after scaring me for another half an hour or something, he let me go. Anyway, what I'm trying to tell you is, if an Emirati wants to destroy life, you better believe it, they can. Don't get into a fight, and especially if it's a lady. Ooh, I have had a problem. One female student who was Emirati, I'll not give the whole story, but she made false charges that I tried to destroy her reputation. She was my student because I was tough on her. She literally got me in prison for a court case. I'll make that video later. So anyway, the point I'm trying to tell you is how Emirati can destroy your life if they really want to. So be careful. Don't mess with them. Don't be in their bad books. Okay. Okay. The number 13 is incorporating both of them. That is, you should know the loopholes of the system if you want to succeed. Many people ask me, how did you get a visa when your face was tattooed? How did you get a visa even though you're not working for a company? How did you manage to purchase a visa even though it's not legally allowed? How did you stay in Sharjah even though it follows Islamic rules and you look like this visually? So all these answers, I tell them, if you know the loopholes of the system, you can succeed in UAE. And I knew the loopholes of the system. So trust me when I say this. If you know the loopholes of any country, any business, whether it's insurance, whether it's a business deal, whether it's in the courts, whether even when you sign, a job with a company, if you know the loopholes, you'll succeed, you'll survive. If you don't know the loopholes, you are finished. Then you'll have to be like everyone else. I was able to succeed, make money, strive and thrive in UAE because I knew the loopholes of the system. Even to this day, almost all these loopholes exist. The only area where you could say the loopholes have changed is maybe is because before the passport used to be manual. Now it is finger scan, eye scan, facial scan, AI, which was not there before. Okay, that's only one area. So if you are wanted or if they have a court case on you or if someone complains, okay, you'll be arrested on the spot. If you're lucky, they'll deport you back. If you're not lucky, you'll be put in holding cell and then in the main cell. And which brings me back to that old point. If it's an Emirati, arrested on the spot. And nowadays, they can complain just about anything and they will file a case on you. So yeah, be careful. And if it's your employer and he puts a case on you, then you better have enough and more money or better have the skills to beg and plead and cry. Otherwise, they just lock you up and throw away the keys. Okay, so that's point number 13. Point number 14, where you're working in your workplace, don't believe people, don't trust people, don't believe your company, don't believe anybody. And even if you do make friends with them or develop a liking towards them or a friendship develops, don't get emotionally involved. See, in UAE, the climate and the culture of UAE is all about having job security, having money, salary every month, and being able to live a good life. So as long as you contribute to someone who can help you stay in your stable job, help you, directly or indirectly earn that salary, and be in your happy place, they'll keep in touch with you. But the day you're of no benefit to them, or the day they have to choose between you and them, it becomes cutthroat. And many a times I've seen people who have dedicated their lives to a company or organization by giving in extra time, sacrificing their own money. Some people, even if the management tells them, "We can't pay you salary this month, can you understand?" Or can you take a salary cut? Or can you train this person at extra hours? Even though, yes, you have to impress the management, but then the day they don't find any use for you, or the day they have to cut costs, you'll be out. And then people get hurt and broken and destroyed when that happens. So be careful of that. Okay, so don't get too emotionally involved with colleagues. And where friends are concerned, no, just don't trust anyone blindly. There are so many cases of so many clients, customers who I've spoken to who cry and tell me, like, I trusted this guy. He ate food with me. His family was close to my family. His kids were playing with my kids. And then he cheated me and ran off. Didn't pay the money, or my partner signed off all the money and absconding. Don't get emotionally involved with friends and colleagues. Okay. Number 15. If you have contacts and connections, it's always best to remember the faster you take advantage of them, the better. Now, take advantage sounds a little bad, but obviously you're looking for some benefit, right? Like, let's say, for example, someone who's a CEO of a company. Okay, maybe he's of another company, he can get you a good job. And he says, anytime you want a good job, just let me know. I would recommend and suggest, obviously, don't just blindly go resign your company and go take his word. Maybe things don't work out. But when the relationship is red hot in the honeymoon phase, take advantage of it. The chances that this relationship will be strong or red hot after, say, a few months, like they say, time and distance, they kind of destroy a relationship. The same thing. So I'll give you an example. It'll make sense. I had more than 5,000 contacts, connections, business cards of people that I'd kept for years. And once in a while, send them messages here and there. Obviously, can't keep in touch with all 5,000. When I was in my time of need, all those people who I send messages, because obviously you start with your contacts and connections, right? Because I didn't ask them anything or take advantage of anything, majority left the jobs, majority changed their positions, and some of them didn't. Okay, they remembered me, but it took a few seconds. Oh, yeah, Loy, how are you, man? And this and that. And then there was, when I did ask them, they were all apologetic, or they were like, they can't help me, So then I was like, why am I keeping their business card? Like, CEO, director, all big, but they don't want to help me, or they can't help me, or, and what's the point? So when you make a fresh contact, see what benefit he can give you, see if he qualifies ASAP, and figure out how you can take advantage. And especially if you do a favor, give someone something, ask something back immediately. Because if you don't ask, the chances that he will do the favor for you later on is non-existent, because later on maybe he'll not feel in debt to you. Maybe you help someone, you helped him set up with a new job and this thing. He says, anything you want, I'll do for you. Ask something, otherwise forfeit it, because you'll not get it back. And I'm telling you this from personal experience. People I've helped, people I've done things for, and who have promised me sun, moon, and stars. Even rich business people, you help their event to be a success, you help them in their presentation or do something for their children, whatever. And they'll tell you, anytime you want, just call me and this and that, and it sounds good. But then when you actually ask them later on, they are indifferent because they've forgotten about it. So, yeah. Next one. If you're investing in anything, okay. Point number 16. If you're investing in anything, don't invest where there is no government involvement. For example, you must have read the papers, or if you don't, please, I recommend just a quick Google search. People lose millions Okay, people lose their life savings trusting some broker, some trader, some not trader, some investment firm, some whatever. No matter how flashy it is, no matter even if they invite you to a five-star hotel, no matter even if there are film stars, sheikhs, or whatever. Okay, the chances of it closing down is totally unpredictable, and if it does close down, you'll get zero. So only invest if you are interested in investing. Invest in a government-backed, instrument. Okay, like Abu Dhabi government. I don't know Dubai and Abu Dhabi if they still have it. They have their investment lottery or something. They have all the. You invest in this, you get a chance to win 1 million, 10 million, or duty free or whatever. If you are into that, lottery gambling kind of nonsense, which I don't recommend. That's not an investment. So go for that. That is legit. Now, how far it is fair and how far it is like, for example, you put in duty free and not duty free. Sorry, duty free is legit. Let's say there is a 10 million draw and the sheikh picks up something or some Arab guy picks up something. There are rumors that it is rigged. So, but I'm just keeping you, informed. Do not invest where any private firm or any company. If you have to invest only where the government is involved. Okay. Number 17. This one is a very uncomfortable question. People don't like to answer it. People don't like to think about it. But what if is a very powerful ally for yours. And the what if you have to ask yourself is, what if I lose this job? See, your existence in UAE is your job, is your position, is the money that you earn per month. Okay. When you don't have the job, you obviously not only lose the income that you're getting, you lose your visa. Now, there are a couple of options. You can either get a 2 months, 3 months tourist visa, or not tourist visas. Like now they have multiple visas. Oh goodness, the number of visas is never ending. They keep launching. So there is a visa where you can buy it and you can hunt for a job. Okay, there is one visa. I can't get its name right now. This was not there, like let's say before COVID. After COVID, they started, literally selling every single thing as long as you have money. Okay, they even have some of these. It's not you're not a citizen of UAE, but a kind of a UAE kind of passport, but for very big hitters, very big investors. Okay, and I've seen it with my own eyes. Obviously, can't share the video. I've seen it. Huh? So. If you don't have that kind of money, if you don't have that kind of like ability, then if you lose your job, obviously you have to get yourself a visa. And if you can't get yourself a visa, it's going to be a problem. Or let's assume you can get a visa, but then you're eating off your savings. So be prepared to lose your job. It can happen at any time. Now, generally speaking, this is a fact. Generally speaking, if you're with a stable company, 5 years, 10 years, don't have to worry. Okay. But then what happens is if you're 5 years, 10 years in a job, it's your comfort zone. You're not ready to leave. Nobody wants to leave where they built a legacy or they built a name or comfort. You know everyone, you know the systems. But what happens is those people, when they lose their job now, it becomes very hard because now you're getting into like a fresh market and you have to go literally, it's like you're begging for a job and you're trying your luck. And even with all the experience and the heavyweight expertise that you have, the reputation you've built, it becomes a crazy wild ride. And I'll tell you, it depresses a lot of people. So instead of waiting for that to happen, be proactive and constantly ask yourself, what if I lose this job? Or what if they cut my salary? Or what if I'm demoted? What do I do? Have an answer for that. And please don't give answers to convince yourself, yeah, I'll go back to India. Yeah, I'll go and do this. Or I'll start a business. And do it. Set up your business immediately. Don't wait when it'll happen. So by the time you lose a job, you have something. Or if you're saying, oh, I'll go back to India. Okay, go to India and see what is there. Because many people tell me, oh, if I lose my job, I have many job offers. Did they give it to you in writing? Did they on a legal letterhead with a signed signature? And they say, okay, you can join. If that is not there, it's non-existent. Okay. So always ask you, what if I lose my job? And you can replace the job with what if they kick me out of here, or what if they break up, or what if my partner takes my money and runs away? Always ask the what if. Number 18 is you must get a professional coach. Okay, in whichever industry that you're looking for, a sector or segment. Like in the previous part one, which I told you, given a choice between time and money, choose always time, because you can make money, you can never buy time. With a professional coach, like I'll give you a simple example. For 6 years, I struggled to improve my running, made multiple videos on that. You can Google search Loy Machedo running coach, or triathlon days or whatever. I struggled for 6 years. I spent money on steroids. I went to groups. I went, asking people, watch YouTube videos, purchased shoes, socks, this, that. Thought it'll improve my running. Nothing. Running as in half marathon. Yeah, I was always the last guy to finish. It's pretty heavy also. 3 hours, 30 minutes. That's a cutoff time. After 6 years, I think 6.5, after getting insulted by one fellow runner, I finally got so pissed off and humiliated. I went and got myself a professional coach, Olympic. You'll not believe, man. He was a track and field coach. What he helped me achieve in 6 months, the record that I broke, the amazing speed and fitness and health, and he repaired all my injuries. He got me incredibly fit, and I ran 12 kilometers in less than 55 minutes, I think. Yeah. I never did that in my entire life. And imagine when you're entering your 40s, mid 40s, and you're being even faster, stronger, and better than you ever were. And I had multiple injuries. I kicked myself and said, why didn't I get a professional coach before? I wasted 6 years of my life. So I'm just talking one area, that is only exercise. I was asking myself, what if I had someone to guide me in my career? What if I had someone to guide me in terms of, say, networking, communication, personal brand? Lucky for me, I had a couple of mentors, but they were more into leadership and communication and about life. They were like a father figure. But if I did invest uh, in a proper professional coach, it would be more expensive, but better results. I instead thought of ways to cut corners. Okay, seminar, course, book, all that bullshit, which became excess on YouTube. Take my course, you'll make seven-figure income. Come for this seminar, come for this conference, generic, flashy stuff. It's all bullshit here. So get yourself a one-to-one professional coach, and then you'll see results. Number 19. In Dubai, it's very easy to get into your comfort zone. It is the one thing that will kill you. Your comfort zone will not make you, it will break you. Like sitting in the AC 20, almost your whole day, sitting on a nice comfy chair in front of your monitor, eating food that you can just order. If you see that movie Wall-E, there is that character in that ship. They don't have to move anything. They just have to sit like this. Someone will massage them. Someone will change their clothes. Someone will brush their teeth. Robots and all that. So they're just lying like a vegetable on the mat, and everything from the systems to everything else. He doesn't have to move. The chair that is floating is taking him around, and he doesn't have to move his muscles. So even for him to walk was impossible. So this is the same thing. If you don't get out of your comfort zone, you will not exercise your muscles, whether it's mentally, emotionally, physically. Like just imagine after years of after injuries, after bodybuilding and all that, I stopped exercise totally for I think a couple of years, 5, 6. Put on a lot of weight. I couldn't even walk up a stairs, let alone few meters. And when I thought I would try jogging, in less than 50, 100 meters, I was huffing and puffing. And when I tried to go barefoot without shoes, I could not even walk, I would say, 10 meters. And then fast forward after a year, I was able to do 48 kilometers walking, slow running, barefoot. So that took time. And even exercise where I couldn't take the heat. I was doing extreme kind of fitness, wearing heavy, hot stuff and running in on the beach at 12 in the afternoon, which is nearly 50 degrees, because I developed the resistance. So your body will adapt. Same way your mind also. So keep pushing yourself out of your comfort zone if you want to grow. Point number 20, I am 100% sure majority will not want to do this. That is why the only, I would say, 10% do it, and that is why they are the 10%. Okay, change your job every 3 years. Okay, this is a very unpopular advice, because there are a lot of questions. What if the new company I join is bad? What if I left a great opportunity? There's always the what if. There's always the risk factor. The only benefit of doing this, changing a job after every 3 years, is you get into a new environment, you get into a new opportunity, new people, new culture, and it helps you learn and grow and become better. There is a school of thought that says when you see someone's resume with too many job changes versus one who has stayed in one company for 10 years, maybe changed only 3 jobs, 10, 10, 10. That's a better person. He's more stable. But then you just finished your entire career with only 3 companies. While on the other hand, there are people who keep, trying one company to another. There was this guy, he was in Citibank. His name is Sai Prakash Arur. He used to work in multiple banks. Like, he kept changing after his contract tenure of 3 years. He became known in the banking industry as a results-oriented guy. And last I knew, I think he was nearly almost in CEO positions. In fact, you can Google search this guy. His name is Raja Manar. He's the marketing director of MasterCard. He was the country head of Citibank. And he was highly sought after. And there were 2-3 other guys named Hubert and one other Arab Emirati guy. They used to keep changing like the banks every 3 years. And oh, what a demand. People were even ready to bid for them. They were even ready to put a joining bonus. This guy, I can't mention his name, but I knew him through another contact, got lucky. He was driving this Mercedes concept car. I was like so impressed. He was in his late 40s or something. That time I was in my 20s. And I was like, wow, and all that. And he was, pretty chill guy. And then the contact told me that he got 500,000 dirhams those days, nearly 20 years ago, 20, 25 years ago. He got 500,000 just to join a particular bank. Just imagine, senior position. So that was good money. So, but obviously it comes with, terms and conditions and a bond. But this is what I'm trying to tell you, is the only reason he was offered that is because he was a mover and shaker in the industry, and also he had good will and good reputation in multiple banks. Okay. So if you want to be known in the industry, don't change every 6 months or, then you'll be more like a contract worker. But after giving your best, you must. And one more thing, if they don't increase your salary, even after years and years of giving everything that you had, then that's a very big red flag, because cost of living is going up, purchasing power is coming down, and your salary is the same. That means you're earning less every year. Okay. 2 more points, and then I'll call it the second video. I'll call it a day. Point number 21 is, if you're given a choice between earning a bigger salary, earning a better position, earning a better, let's say, more responsibility, okay, the normal mentality is where they pay you more, jump there. Agreed. That I will say without a doubt. Why? Because you're in the Gulf, you're in the Middle East for earning money. But if you have an opportunity to work under a CEO or the owner of the company, and he tells you you'll earn the same, but I'll give more responsibilities and teach you the business, he might say, okay, I'll increase your salary. That is normally bullshit. But if he's offering you to train you with more experience, more insight, and you're getting like a kind of a internship program where your salary is the same, but you're learning more, grab that, because it'll help you in the long run. There's so many people who just jump for a salary increase, which is great. but then you will reach a threshold after which that position you'll only command that, and to go to the next level, like management level, or if your goal is to move a C level, like a CEO, then you have to have those leadership skills and a track record. So remember, it's not just only about making money, but in every other area and avenue of your life, make sure it's money that talks. Relationships, friendships, business ventures. I know you'll say, "Hey, isn't that obvious?" You'll be surprised to know how not so obvious it is with so many people. Okay, focus on your earnings. And the final point that I'll give you, and then I'll wind this second part. Dubai is known for its hype. Dubai is known for its vision for the future. And you'll always get Sheikh Mohammed announced this city, that city, crypto city, AI city, concept city. This tower will get built. This theme park, this wonder of the world will get built. All those are future promises. Oh, we'll send the first person to Mars, Elon Musk, and then UAE also followed. All that sounds very nice. Okay, it sounds very, very good. Who is in the future, man? Like, do you know what happened during COVID? Everything shut down. Everyone lost their jobs. What happened to all the projects that they promised, announced, and had such a grand celebration about? Gone, finished. What happened to the money invested? Gone. Nobody talks about it. And I can assure you, if you look back on all the promises, the most popular ones, like the world islands, they'll build, cities on top of water, 1 mile high tower, Falcon City, Google search this one, or the what is that? A rainbow roller coaster, whatever, Six Flag, the thing theme park, or whatever theme parks that they have. All big, big promises. Sounds nice. Very promising. Doesn't happen. So, in the same way, if your employer promises you, okay, we'll increase your salary after 6 months or 1 year, after evaluating, remember, it's verbal. It's not real. And even if they give you in writing, let's say, if you show performance will increase after 6 months, it's on their letterhead. They can, say, yeah, this is what we offered, but, and if they really don't want to give you, they'll say, we received multiple complaints from other people. It was not up to the mark. And they'll bring out maybe a sheet with so many errors and, and it'll disappoint you. So the point here is, all these promises sound very nice, but don't start making all the sacrifice and delivering everything based on a future that you've never seen. Because I'll tell you this, in the end, if it doesn't happen, you will be the one who will be crying, and then you have no one to blame but yourself. So future promises sound nice. If you have a deal between, they'll offer you 10,000 more after a couple of months, or they give you right now, just grab the one right now. Like they say, bird in hand is worth two in a bush. So two in a bush is you're going to catch, you're going to do things, versus now. Take the here and now, because you don't know what's going to happen in future. Maybe the guy will die, the guy will get promoted, the guy will transfer to some other company, or the guy will leave the company, and then you'll be like, hey, you promised me. Or sometimes even the management will change, or maybe the economic conditions of the country, or the policy, government policy. So keep that in mind. All right. So this is part 2. Let me know if it added any value. If it did, then I'll focus on giving you part 3. So good, bad, ugly, let me know in the comments below. And yes, do let me know, do you want part 3? Okay, chal guys, you guys take care. Yalla.